can't take over his jungle as easier anymore, because now you can't take the outpost, right? So he just chills back, he farms jungle, he gets his Radiance and his BKB super early on, and then just fights you. Same as it was at the TI era.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of timings Raven's going to get. Of course, you know, Raven, he is, to me, one of the farmers in SEA that just has always been able to pull out these incredible GPM performances. Normally, for me, it's been on his like illusion-based heroes, like the Terrorblades and the Naga Sirens over the years, but very excited to see what he's going to be able to pull off with when the farm comes down to it on the Alchemist. And obviously on the side of Reality Rift, Drew on this AM. We'll see how solid of a showing he can have here, and which way he does go if he does want to change it up. Of course, first he does indeed still want to go for that Battle Fury, no question about that. But we'll see how involved he does get and how much he tries to make plays with the team. As he's got ways to keep himself safe, obviously having things such as KYXY on his Omni Knight.
Yeah, and it's not like they have some like overwhelming amount of disables or anything like that. Everything that he can get disabled by is pretty telltale. Like if he gets glimpse, you know, he can reflect these type of spells. Same thing with the concoction, even like the void spirit abilities. You can, you know, you can play around them pretty easily for Drew. It's just, can he actually get away with the lane? Because I feel like he's just gonna get right clicked by Nature's Prophet, even if he does have a Bane a lot of the time, and he'll have to play versus Orchids. We know that these Orchids are going to come online for GeekFam more than likely, either on that Quap or on that Nature's Prophet early on. It's going to be a lot of ways to, and they should be playing with an advantage, at least on GeekFam. His top lane is actually pretty strong though. Their Jakiro Omni Knight lane, they are actually probably able to put pressure onto Raven.
Yeah, you can see Hustler and Whitemon, they're going for it here. Fairy Fire's out on Whitemon, but there's a dual breath available from Hustler. And Whitemon, he's ticking down low. The Tango is not healing him up enough. Cuts through the trees, and Hustler is able to find the final blood.
Don't trade with Jakiro. Even if you're a disruptor, Jakiro's the king of trading. He does not care. Dual breath is like the strongest level 1 ability. And yeah, if they go the Degen Aura route in this lane up top, they actually could put pressure onto Raven. So definitely liking that already by KYXY. They're already slowing down his last hits a bit.
Over in the mid lane, so far, what are we seeing on the CS? 8 for 1, and over on the quad 5 for 2. Pretty close. I mean, the Ember Alacrity is going to try and do his best to avoid these daggers, but it's very hard to do so, and Carl's always going to be able to try and fake it out.
Yeah, now is when it starts getting a lot harder too. Level 3 comes out. He actually goes for the 2 points in Scream, and the Shadow Strike actually gets dodged anyway by Alacrity. So Alacrity, big plays in the mid lane already, so he can have that advantage already versus a Queen of Pain, which is not what you always see.
And down bottom, Drew, it's been farming fine. When Cuckoo's able to get in with a fair few denies, but as you can see, Nuts already trying to get the lane in a better place for Drew. Bring it down closer towards his tower, so he doesn't feel like he has to risk his life too much stepping up for the CS, especially Zephyr with that level 2, having the Remnant available and just that extra bit of disable to allow Cuckoo to really punch into him. They get the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, this pull's important for Nuts to reset the positioning of the lane. That's probably the most fearsome thing right now to be a safe laner, is just lane positioning, as it has been for quite a long time. You just get bullied, especially by these two, quite a lot if you are too far up. So having to pull that lane back, now they will have it in a much better position for themselves. But we see the side pull, it's getting kind of screwy down there. So Drew will be affected by that a little bit. Alacrity's just, Jesus man, he's not missing a single CS in the mid lane.
Yeah, this is looking pretty great. I mean, 18 for 4. I guess as we've seen just with the Flame Guard and to push it out and the Slight to dodge any sort of extra nuke that Carl just try and hit him with. He's been able to sort of shove the lane in each time and pick up all the CS without Carl being able to do too much at all to stop him.
Yeah, really impressed. It's really nice now that Wraith Bands give armor. I think this is something that's going to actually help Ember even more so in the games, even though Ember's already super popular. Hero suffers from armor early on. This really helps you out. Like, look at him when he's next to his tower. He's at 9 armor. Sure, the tower, you know, gives you 3, but it does make quite a big difference to have that little bit extra versus even a hero like Queen of Pain.
And we continue to see up top, KYXY and Hustler, both doing a great job of just sort of forcing Whitemon right away from this lane, making it very hard for him to offer too much in terms of keeping Raven safe.
He's able to check the top.
Been able to have a great time there.
Yep. And it allows White Hustler to walk away. He checks the top rune as well. Sees it's not there. It's an invis bottom. Bottles are not finished just yet. Alacrity's actually looking like he's going to go claim that one. Okay, actually blinks onto it, but like we said, no bottle. doesn't get filled up or anything along those lines. Drew's still doing a good job down bottom. He's out of regen completely down here now on the Bane and the anti-mage, but he's almost got his treads finished up at the very least. It's not fantastic, but not so bad.
Yeah, nothing too rough on sort of the side lane so far.
Yeah. Just now you're really starting to see Drew get bullied though. Like no regen, he's having to eat all of his extra tangos. They're trying to pull and stack, Nut's trying to secure himself at least one of the bounty runes. Looks like he should be able to get that. Alacrity gets glimpsed away by Whitemon. They're just going for bounties. Since they have that Alchemist, it's all about claiming more, and they do get 3. Raven gonna be very happy with that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, as I mean, do you expect to see this Ember? You know, Alacrity, once he does hit the 6, to start making moves up onto the top half and trying to go on the Alchemist? I mean, it's going to be tough because sure, Raven is almost certainly going to be hitting the 6 very soon himself off a couple more waves. But is that the kill that you're looking to try and go for as soon as you can as this Ember?
It's a little scary because you're playing versus Queen of Pain. Quap can respond so damn well. Literally the best PP here ganking hero. Drew, bottom, blink, CD. They tried to go aggressive.
Yeah, not quite able to control him enough as he's able to cut through the Sprout.
Look at the build by Cuckoo. The triple null talisman. He's like, I'm lane pressuring at the maximum here. Nulls and Wraithbands too, but people haven't. A lot of people kind of mixed still about this, but the Nulls and Wraithbands seem to be the more dominant one. But I did see Jakiro built a Bracer, so did the Omni Knight. So, you know, there's a little bit of mixture of what people are still really liking at the moment.
Dire's middle tower.
4 null talismans for Cuckoo. There you go.
He's gone 4. All right.
4. So 20 int, and he gets a lot of spell amplification that really comes out from it.
Is there any reason to not go for a 5th?
The bag is just space. I think like 4 is even 12% spell amp on your ulti. Like we've seen this ulti really chunk early on. 12% spell amp is no joke. Definitely been looking forward to seeing people doing new things with their builds with these new early game items as rotations. Okay, he's got a haste.
Yes, he's got the Sonic Wave good to go. And he wants to get the liner on the 2 of them. They are grouped up. They're trying to go in onto Raven, but here's the backup from K, but he can't do anything to save Raven as Raven already ends up going down. Now comes the Sonic Wave. Will clip the 2 of them, and K will manage to find them. So the gang's successful, but unfortunately for GeekFam, not able to do it in time before Raven ends up losing his life first. Still though, obviously great stuff for K, who's going to be able to pick up a whole lot of gold and a whole lot of XP from that movement.
Raven with what, 100 XP from level 6 or something like that? Not even 80, 50, something like that, very close. I thought K might use the Sonic Wave to try to push them away. I think maybe he had an attempt that he could have gone for to save
he did hold off with it.
He just held it. Yeah, it's a little weird, but either way, he does get the double kill. And now Raven, he's off to the jungle. Didn't get to see if they stacked a whole lot. I don't think they did. That's one thing I think Whitemon could have done a much better job of this game, is just time, you know, utilizing his time a little better, because stacks are king right now, especially for a hero like Alchemist. And a hero like Disruptor does not farm, so you get that extra, you know, that bounty gold from stacking, which is really needed on a hero like that.
Yeah. I mean, I always imagine, you know, when you see a mid sort of make that movement, and, you know, the ult does come out a little later, you know, there's probably something in Carl's mind that was like, yeah, I could let him die and I could get more XP out of this. You know, it's always tempting when you're making those moves as the mid.
Yeah, not in this patch especially. It's never worth those kind of things. Like, your team gets so much AoE gold now that you have AoE gold and experience. Like, Raven would have gotten pumped up so much from it. But yeah, I mean, it happened. Bottom, Alacrity, he's responding.
So thinking, whoa, okie dokie. With the amount of void, that's going to be a dead Cuckoo. As Cuckoo tried to go aggressive there, popping the ult as well. They do finally get Nuts dying to the Thunderstrike of Whitemon, but you see there, Drew getting the kill, getting out. That's going to be some well needed money towards his Battle Fury, of course. As you can see on the CS, he really was starting to fall behind on this anti-mage as Drew really began to feel the heat of Cuckoo in that lane, as we've been talking about with this 4 null tallies and now the phase boots as well. So yeah, Drew's he's got to find somewhere safer to go. He's going to head up towards the top lane and see if he's going to be able to get a bit more farm out of this bit of the map, because so far the distance between him and Raven's farm, it's pretty big, and it's only going to get larger if they can't find Drew somewhere safe to be.
Yeah, and if GeekFam's able to just like keep this kind of pace and farm, sure, it's still very, very early on, but there's a risk that your anti-mage doesn't even get to play Dota a lot of the times when, you know, you're versus an Alchemist that's gonna go Radiance BKB. He's got good targets to Mana Void, though, is really important, right? He's got that Nature's Prophet and that Quap all throughout the game. Even Alchemist is not a bad Mana Void target as the game progresses, but that's gonna be way later down the line.
Still in there for Cuckoo, more imp for him. Is he going to be? He's going to be nice though. He's going to give it over to Carl. Obviously, yeah. Going to get a lot more usage out of the actual active mana. With the way that K wants to make moves and spam his spells for quick farm.
Wrath of Nature. Looks like it bounced to a bunch of creeps. Doesn't actually get anything. Cuckoo does have plus 20 damage up top, and they're setting up for Cuckoo.
Let's see if they can catch him. Decently tanky. I mean, underneath the tower, he's already got that 18 armor.
His hero has insane armor, right? Like, yesterday we were talking about the 64. He's already up this much just under the tower. It's crazy. Guess I underestimated the 3.6 agi gain on a Nature's Prophet. Hero has such good stat values.
You can see, I mean, as you said, they did come up here, but no real way to get underneath that tower and make a move onto GeekFam.
Look at this, look at them pinging. He pulled the whole creep wave. How good luck pushing if he just takes your creeps for a stroll. Now the catapult's on its way back toward top. K will drag a couple of the melee creeps in. There goes the siege creep. Look at it. It's just alone in the river coming to join Drew. But a job well done by Cuckoo. Pushes them away from the tower, and pushing them away from the tower means Alchemist is able to get some stacks, and Raven finds himself an Iron Talon. Very valuable item for an Alchemist. Off to a dream start for this Alch. Well, yeah, almost dream start.
Yeah, not necessarily, you know, record breaking, but definitely in there with up there with a good performance so far. Raven hitting this timing, or 2600 gold, 11 minutes. The Relic's going to be here in good time. Move down to the bottom, but Alacrity's got the Remnant out. Can easily jump away from this. White one is seeing if you can find the glimpse, but no vision, not quite having the range. Alacrity's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's got the jelly plus the Iron Talon, so really fortunate for Raven just to be able to sit himself casually and farm. Top 3 net worths of the course.
TP's over to mid. They're going in onto K. They'll be able to get it. TP reactions may be able to find some trades for GeekFam. They'll turn over towards KYXY. Stuck in the trees once again as he gets dragged back underneath the tower thanks to Glimpse. So 1 for 1. Sure, K goes down, but GeekFam able to respond, make sure that nothing else happens off the back of that kill, keep that tower safe.
Got the kill.
Able to bring down KYXY.
Nuts, got the kill. Okay, it's really important in this patch, I've noticed as well, is that your cores get the kills on these type of rotations. The gold influx is pretty insane compared to what it used to be. Drew, he's taking some space up top. He's actually recovered pretty decently. He's only 1400 away from that Battle Fury. Still a decent ways behind Raven. But he's got an okay game as long as he doesn't get caught by some of these glimpses early on.
Yeah, they want to put a stop to this. They know that Drew's been able to catch up. Zephyr trying to get in, get at least the vision for White wants to set up with a glimpse into Static Storm. Let's see what they can do. Drew off to the side, but Zephyr straight in. Looking to dive underneath the tower. The Remnant pull back, holding him in position for the Static Storm. Kinetic Field to trap it. GeekFam, very nice move there from them to shut down the anti-mage. At the same time, towards mid though, the rest of Reality Rift will be able to collapse in onto Cuckoo. And they're actually looking to take this tower down with the 4 of them. So they may have, things may have slowed down in the anti-mage department, but Reality Rift are able to continue to open up more of the map for themselves.
Yeah, easily come for that tower. Did you see the item queued up by Alacrity? I've heard about this lately too. He gets the chain off in mid.
So what's the theory here? Why the
stats?
Stats, okay.
Yeah, look at how many. Look at the stats that Meteor Hammer provides. 8 stats, 6.5 health regen, and that he actually switches and goes for the drum anyway. He's memeing. All right, well, I have seen a couple people been going for like these Dominators and Meteor Hammers just for stats now because they provide so much.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, plus that, yeah.
Look at the Dominator too. Dominator's
very
like
nice. I mean, Dominate, yeah. Dominate.
Nuts.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen it in sort of every single one. The Dominators.
Yeah, I've seen it on hard carries.
A lot of potential.
Look, I've seen it on
if it's the right sort of
stuff.
hero. Yeah, for sure. Someone that wants to hit the jungle and, you know, obviously having that extra creep with the plus 40 damage, it's going to help you farm faster than, you know, as we obviously compare it to the Necro book of the previous patch. It is pretty much that new first pickup if you want to go down that sort of route with your items and with your farming.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is what I noticed was look at Helm of Iron Will just as an item period now. In the past, it was a strong item with 5 armor and 3 health regen. Now it's 5 and 5. Like, the item alone is just magnificent as well. So a lot of cool little changes that have come around through Dota.
On top. It's an attempt onto Cuckoo. Nuts has got the grip. He's going to pop it. Holds Cuckoo in. Again, a second time they've been able to get this prof, but they got him once in the mid. They get him up top. Same time as well, GeekFam with their own smoke. Gonna look to try and get some revenge for Cuckoo. Oh, he blinks into this one. Straight over they go. Static Storm's down, and Drew was not ready for this. As the trap was set, he blinks immediately into the midst of it. And again, GeekFam, we're seeing them get the anti-mage and lose the profit. It's sort of a a trade that GeekFam overall are going to be happy with, right? Sure, profit is still a big old core, but you're slowing down this anti-mage's game whilst Raven is, you know, closing up to the point where he's nearly double the net worth of this AM. We've got 5.6k on the AM. Raven's already in the 9k. Like, this Alchemist farm is going at a scary pace if you're Reality Rift right now. You've got to do something to try and slow him down or get more done, or at least make sure your anti-mage is not dying like this.
It's tough, though. It was actually, that smoke by GeekFam was super clever, because they wanted to just actually claim the bounty rune and also be prepared for a kill if it's there, and it just ends up being perfect for them. Bottom, Hustler, does show. Yeah,
they shouldn't have any trouble taking him out here.
Yeah.
3 of them. Cooper able to finish him off with a big old bounce from the Nature's Wrath.
Space for Raven. Deep wards placed as well. We see GeekFam with these super deep wards. Alacrity is getting aggressive. They get a sleep ant onto the Queen.
Only got one more remnant in a second. Nuts will be able to finish up the kill with the brain sap. Trying to turn over for more, but K jumps over towards Nuts. Will hold back on the Sonic Wave as immediately Nuts goes for the TP out. There's no way to stop it. The Bane escapes.
4k lead. Alchemist continued to farm. Great deep aggressive wards that I was talking about that GeekFam got down. So this is going to give them so much information of where the AM is farming. These wards, they spot couriers, they spot all these random movements from AM. I love these wards actually, and they're very unlikely to get dewarded. I say that Nuts does find one of them. And we will all see Drew now have Battle Fury finished. Misses an ancient stack while doing so, but okay, he's now, you know, on his way, but he's half of an alchemist at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a lot of catching up to do. And I mean, what sort of is the best way for you to play if you're Reality Rift? Like, we've seen obviously GeekFam go for these smokes consecutively, hunting for this anti-mage, and they've been successful. They've been able to catch Drew out twice. I mean, do you sort of ignore the Alc and just have to try and force him to turn up for fights by pushing for these tier 2s and trying to just get closer and closer to ending the game soon? Or do you actually have to start smoking up and going into his jungle and trying to go for the kill on it?
Oh god, it's so difficult. Like, they just don't have the damage. Yeah. Like, looking at their heroes, they just don't have it. And Alacrity, he hasn't gone for the Spirit Vessel build, so they don't have that to go for either. They're really lacking because they can't bring enough heroes at bottom. KYXY, he's got a mech.
He has got a bit of extra tankiness. He will pop it. Yeah, he's going to get glimpsed over to the side. The Remnant will catch onto Alacrity, but KYXY will live. GeekFam, even with the Static Storm and the Sonic Wave, not quite able to burst fully through the Omni Knight. All right. Blue Ops down. Alacrity having a bit of a poke as Hustler stepping forward. Still kind of hard to fight into this though, with GeekFam having the 4 of them. Top lane, Cuckoo's going to come in for the defense, but Drew and Nuts are around. If Nuts can find a grip onto him, I'll be able to go, but Cuckoo's playing it carefully. He's keeping to the trees.
He knows something's he knows something's up. Okay. Looks like he's gonna make his move up toward the jungle. They're spotting him now. Nuts. They're just in, I mean, they have some nice wards over here as bottom. Both teams kind of just playing around each other a little bit here. Nuts playing around the vision. He really wants Cuckoo. Can't quite get him though. Mid lane, Alacrity.
Nope. Blade Mail on K. Alacrity's got to be careful how much damage he does try and throw onto it.
Interesting. See, Raven's actually going for the Heart build. So Heart has been changed. Heart now actually just provides 1% HP regen in fights, which is pretty insane to me. So, I mean, this is probably maybe a little bit of a test or something that he has used before, because the old build was just Radiant's BKB every time. So this one maybe he feels is just that much stronger now with the change.
Yeah, and of course, he's just going to be sort of instantly healed up to full HP anytime he's outside of the combat. Probably a quicker rate with the 50% amplification of his chemical rage healing.
Yep. It's kind of cool how, I mean, we'll see how it all works out inside the fights. Oh, and they found an essence ring for the team too. He won't take that one, but yeah, this is hard. I mean, I was mentioning how I really don't feel like Reality has enough damage in the mid game. I mean, versus a hard Alchemist, I'm definitely seeing a big concern if GeekFam groups up with that.
Yeah, where's your damage? Where's your burst?
They just don't have it. They have control. They have a lot of control, but
sure,
definitely not the damage, especially not without an AM with Manta, which he's still pretty far from. Almost 20 minutes too. Like, he's not getting the space to recover in this game. He's below the majority of the other cores.
Yeah, right.
The bounties.
Massive. I mean, it really is the point now where, I mean, GeekFam, they could just start moving with Raven, right? Like,
yes.
He could just go on to Reality Rift. You know, we're talking about Reality Rift trying to make something happen onto GeekFam's half of things before it gets too late. It may have already got there. As now the threat, it's coming straight to their doorstep.
Oh God!
Just beaten down here. He may get out of range. He does manage to live, but now they're going to turn Static Storm onto Alacrity. Will find so sometime with the Yules, also at the back of the KYXY. Ice Pop, not going to catch on to anyone. The Concoction building up. He's Yules up once more, and he's not going to get the chance to throw it out. Ends up self-stunning and move back over towards it, but you're seeing Raven just sitting at full HP and Reality Rift. You can feel it. They just can't go on this Alchemist.
No way. Like, no Spirit Vessel at all in their lineup either. 120 HP per second, no chance you kill him unless he's completely isolated alone. Also, the reason I said, oh no, Nuts survived, but he actually shoveled and dug a bounty rune right in front of the Alk, and they stole it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I don't think I've never seen someone dig up a bounty rune and lose the enemy team, especially when he's an Alchemist. Oh,
yeah, look at Zephyr, 80 gold each. He took it right in front of him. I was like, oh, he lived, you know, Nuts survived, but losing the bounty probably just worse. He probably should have just died.
Definitely worse. A free bounty for the Alk team. Oh no.
And they're still off to an excellent timing. Drew, almost, I mean, he's getting closer to the Manta. Alacrity is still very strong with his build. He's got this drum and this Yule, the drum for the aggression, the Yule to protect himself versus the silence and stuff, but you can just still feel like it's an Alchemist draft with pretty good backup and farm. They're still up to a fantastic pace.
I mean, you know, you see Raven, he just heads over to their half of the map, starts grabbing creeps into the jungle, and he knows he doesn't even need any sort of backup with him. Like, the odds of them being able to go on him when he's alone and killing him, even when it's sort of 5-on-1, it's not going to be easy. They just don't have the power.
Yeah, I mean, if they get like a Fiend's Grip and chain stun him before he gets his ult off, sure, but he's very likely to get his ult off, and he will almost always have somebody there to protect him. Cuckoo can just always teleport in and get a silence provided to guards, so mid.
No, looking for Zephyr. Zephyr trying his best to play around the Remnant, and Cuckoo's going to come in with the TP. The Orchid's straight out to Alacrity. Alacrity stuck in the Sprout. Oh, a couple of Yules to dodge the Sonic Wave. Nicely done, but the Static Storm's there. Nuts tries to buy more time for him with the Nightmare, and it will be enough to get him out to the side, but the projectiles still fly through. No disjointing that with the Remnant, as this Ember Spirit will fall despite the best effort to keep him alive. Nuts goes for a grip onto Whitemon, but instantly put to an end by the Orchid of K. That's Nuts down, and now they can just look to clean up even more GeekFam. As the Sprouts have onto KYXY, Raven's had time to turn up as well. Concoction out onto Hustler, is 3 dead. The Glitz over onto KYXY, bringing him back into the midst of all 5 of them as they surround this Omni Knight, take him out as well. GeekFam are just steaming ahead here. Raven getting involved in the fights. The money for this AC shortly to be done. Straight into the pit they go, and this game is just looking to get into a very difficult territory for Reality Rift to get a hold of once more. I mean, Drew, he's farming, he's got his Battle Fury Manta, but it's still just so hard to see the window, the timing, where this anti-mage is going to be any sort of threat comparable to this Alchemist.
And he can always just get killed too, for sure. Manta's going to protect you from some, but for Static Storm, it's still always going to be a big bother, and so far we have seen Whitemon have some fantastic ones. And you know what I was saying earlier about, 10 minutes ago or whatever, that, Drew, he's got his Battle Fury pretty much almost online, but this was 10 minutes ago, but will he actually get to play a game of Dota as anti-mage in this game? It's not looking like it right now from the way that GeekFam's playing around Raven.
I know, so
AC's done.
I need, 24 minutes in.
Oh god. Alchemist meta.
I mean, it's looking pretty good. As I said, myself personally, I'm not caught any out games, but seeing Raven show us the power of it so far, it definitely looks strong. Especially in a period of Dota where, I feel like I am seeing quite a few anti-mage picks. People are liking this hero right now. So GeekFam just straight up showing a very sort of explicit counter to it. If you see an AM pick come out, get yourself the Alc, and if there's nothing that's going to threaten you early on, you're just able to hit this incredible amount of farm at a pace where the anti-mage can't even dream of.
Yeah, you're gonna have everything. You're gonna be a full item or two ahead of the AM every time, and then AM can't man fight you. You just stand toe to toe with him. And with now the way Abyssal works and everything too, like you actually have fantastic ways to always catch the Alchemist or catch the anti-mage and kill him. And he is going for the Basher next. 25 minutes, bounty runes. Looks like it's gonna be a 2 for 2. Yeah. I've been seeing that, I've been seeing a lot of AM too, and I'm still not really sold. Like, I can see it some games, but I'm seeing a lot of these other traditional kind of carry heroes just be better because they're actually just better in the early game. They can do something early. Like, AM just does nothing. Like, I'm seeing Trolls, Ursas, and stuff like that just do better than the anti-mage because they can actually play the game.
And there we go. Up to the base. GeekFam, they're ready to start beating down to tier 3. As Raven pops the Chemical Rage, heads over towards Lackey. Lackey silenced in place. Got some time to buy with the York Scepter, but the silences instantly catch him as he comes back down. Both Cuckoo and Kay having the means to silence up these mobile heroes with their Orchids. As 2 dead on Reality Rift, GeekFam take the tier 3. They'll find this Rax as well by the looks of it. There's still tier 2s in the other lanes, so a little bit of something for Reality Rift to hold on to, the fact that they won't lose another Rax yet, at least, but it certainly does feel inevitable as GeekFam. They've just got to take the time to head over, push down another lane, and if Reality Rift weren't able to stop them there, what's going to be able to allow them to stop GeekFam next time?
No, I mean, GeekFam just go again. Cuckoo push out top, everyone else run mid. They can end the game. I don't think that there's any way that Reality Rift can do a single thing to Raven. And he's level 18 now too, so, well, he's 18 for bottom as well, but level 3 Chemical Rage, Basher. And now also Kay has his own ways of defending himself with a BKB on top of that Aegis. I think you just end this game. If you're in GeekFam's position, you have nothing else to really wait for. Only thing you wait for is for Drew to actually become a hero, so. Push it down mid.
Intentions of letting that happen as another tower taken. The creep wave starting to come in, so GeekFam can immediately move back up to the high ground. There's no backdoor protection at all here for Reality Rift, with GeekFam being able to keep this creep wave in good stead.
Like, look at Raven's HP. 150 HP per second. He's just standing in Macro Pyre. Backs up for a second. That heart is about to kick back in with Chemical Rage. I mean, it doesn't even matter. He gets full healed before it. And Cuckoo deals with top. Looks like they're gonna back up. They did have a ward that did watch Drew there for a second, so maybe they want to try to catch this anti-mage once here. They're all backing up.
If they can get yours into Remnant, Static Storm, they can definitely still blow up this anti-mage if Raven can get in on top of it.
Yep. Surprised how much they did actually back up here. Yeah, let me just, I guess, playing a little bit careful. Gives Drew a little bit more time to actually become a hero. Drew now has the Scotty finished up, so great stats for him. He actually can stand toe-to-toe, and that's the HP regen, reduction a little bit if he is able to hit on the Alchemist. Still very scary. I feel like he can still just get turned on and get bashed.
Oh. And also DD found by Raven. So if they weren't ready to go for a second Rax before now, they certainly will be. As Drew still trying his best, just cutting the creeps top, keeping at least one lane shoved heavily over to GeekFam's half. As we saw last time, did work out to causing GeekFam to back away.
Drew, they're starting to try to set up behind him. Aegis gets reclaimed. TP in the back line, but it's watched by Ward. Nuts has to get out. Drew as well.
They make it away. And we saw Cuckoo there draw the line. Some sort of ferocious scribbling on both of the side lanes. Seems that he really doesn't want to make the call to go high ground mid until they are able to deal with these side lanes. Make sure that Drew is not getting the space to push in on GeekFam's half of the map and far away from the action.
Yeah. He's going to immediately now play around bottom, I'd imagine, on Drew, since he probably knows that there's a lot of wards up top, since GeekFam just ran all the way through there. Probably wants to play away from that area. He's got the Paladin sword as well. He's doing his split push action. 30 seconds until the new outposts, as well as the bounties.
Got full abyssal on Raven now. So,
much
3:30 minutes. Incredible farm from Raven this game on the out. Radiance, Abyssal, Heart, AC.
Titan Sliver also picked up that one in the last few moments from the neutrals.
See what Drew can do. I mean, Drew, it really will rest on Drew's shoulders this game. If there's going to be any chance for Reality Rift. They're already indeed inside the base. Hustler alone, trying to draw their attention away from the tower, but he cannot do so, as they have no trouble getting on top of them. The tier 3's going down. Reality Rift's going to have to come back. Zephyr is indeed. He jumps straight away onto Hustler as Hustler goes down straight away. Silence in a concoction. Sometime more by the Static Storm persists. Nightmare buys some more time. He's able to live a little longer. Actually trying to jump away with the remnants, but Prey is able to get in. One final hit takes him out. Double kill as he picks up Nuts as well.
Drew's right.
As GeekFam 19-7, 20k lead. They're cleaning this one up. The top racks go down. Raven moves over towards the mid. Drew and KYX, while they're trying to find something, they will be able to get the bottom racks. But meanwhile, back on their own base, it is indeed. The third and final set going down as GeekFam clean up. And now, if Reality Rift do want to try and play on, it's going to have to be against the Mega Creeps.
And I don't think that they have, I mean, they have Ember and AM, but I don't think that they're going to have to deal with the onslaught that's going to come into their base now. If GeekFam even holds up, they could probably still chill in the area here to look to end. This feels like this game, this was kind of the pace of the game that we knew was going to come. Like, Raven just was getting all the space in the world to farm. They could not pressure enough. Great balance of draft from GeekFam, good moves around, and this AM just, I mean, Drew did not get to play anti-mage, he just got to play the split push game.
Nuts and KYX were trying to give it one final attempt, but Nuts immediately jumped upon by Raven with his Abyssal Blade. The Ice Path from Bracker is down, the Static Storm's there, onto Drew. Drew trying to commit. A Drew fine white mod. See if Drew can do anything else here. Who's he going to go for? Jumps over towards Kay. The Ice Path catches the Queen of Pain. They'll get themselves another with the Mana Void. Drew's able to find it. They turn over towards Raven. Raven, he's punching back hard. Drew has to blink back to safety. They're still trying to bring Raven down though. Another trap with the Ice Path. Raven's getting low as they will be able to finally kill him slowly but surely. KYXY smashing him down with a hammer. They have done what seems to be impossible. Kill the Raven Alchemist. Of course, not before their base got incredibly destroyed by GeekFam, as only a tier 4 left standing. But they're going to try and see what they can do with this. Drew's going to charge straight down mid. Maybe see if they can force a buyback out of either K or Raven and somehow open an opportunity to turn this game around. I mean, it still feels incredibly slim, but this is this opportunity, this small chance for Reality Rift to do something, sort of against all the odds.
Very small chance. But still, Drew, he did get the big kill bounty. He finished up his butterfly and everything too. And now he's able to actually get inside of fights with Heavenly Grace thrown on him the whole time. So he is, you know, he is online. He doesn't have a basher or anything like that, but he does hit buildings.
He's going to jump over towards Zephyr. Zephyr quickly to jump back out. KOX just constantly keeping Drew buffed up. Drew's jumping in. He's looking for the squishier kills. Whitemon has been slowed by the Skadi. 5 seconds and K will be back in the game as the Quap. They get the tier 3 tower. They're still sticking around. Static Storm. There's the trap. They managed to catch Drew and getting him on.
A lot of damage.
He needs help. Is he going to get it? The Nightmare buys him some time. He's going to be launched up into the air here, but he's still taken out. They kill off Drew. Drew dead for 90. He himself without buyback available as he's 900 gold short. That was the one shot there for Reality Rift to try and get something done, and that indeed is it. They know they're not going to have another chance. GG's called. GeekFam will take this first game as at the end of the day, that Alchemist pickup, it really was the answer to everything that Reality Rift wanted to do. It countered this AM strat entirely.
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't feel like any of the other lanes mattered so much. It's just that they were not feeding. They were doing pretty okay in their lane. I mean, they're doing well in their lanes, but all they really had to do is do okay for that Raven to have this time.